Talofa lava, and welcome back to Breaking Waves. On today's episode, we have a really awesome guest. His name is Shamz, aka Sean Anderson, and he is here to tell us all about his journey as a creative artist. He is a rapper, a producer, all the way from Wattle Downs, ripping real hard, and we had an awesome discussion about the industry, hip hop, and all the highs and lows of his journey. If you would like to support the show and what we do here, please head to our website, which will be linked on this episode, and you can find how you can support us there. But other than that, have a great day, enjoy the show, and yeah. Good afternoon, Shams. How are you this afternoon?
I'm good, thank you very much. How about you?
Alive and well.
That's
and
great.
Going, yep. So still hanging in there. Thank you so much for coming on to Breaking Waves.
Thank you for having me.
I've seen your content, love it.
Thank you.
All the stuff that you're putting out, producing beats, and also the freestyles. A lot of people have said that you're a freestyle king in the underground streets of Aokilani.
I don't know about king, but like I'm definitely a high resident.
Let's get straight into it. So tell us a bit about yourself, your background, which part of Auckland you're from.
So I'm from South Auckland. I grew up in Wattle Downs. I've lived there like my whole life. A lot of people don't class that as Rewa, but I still rep Rewa because like you have to go through Rewa to get to Wattle Downs. So it's like I still class it as that. Grew up in Wattle Downs. Just all around musician, like I love bits and pieces of music. But I like try and like take what I can to influence myself in like my musical journey and that. But
do you come from like a musical family?
I do actually, but they're all like rock and roll based. It's crack up because like my it's actually funny because now I think about it, like my dad is rock and roll, my granddad is country. I don't know about my great granddad, but like about to expose my family tree here, but like my granddad still sings karaoke down at the Rewa Cozy Club sometimes when when he gets that chance. Bro.
Shout out to Sham's uncle.
Bro. But yeah, like we have it's like mix of musical, just all around creative, like my oldest cousin on my dad's side, and the music side is all just my dad's side, like my uncle's a like music collector. My oldest cousin, she plays the guitar, but then my other oldest cousin, like she's like a year older than me. She's like an actor, an actor and a dancer. I'm not too sure what the youngest one does because I haven't really seen them in a while. But my two older cousins are like dancer, actor, and a guitar player, and they're pretty fire at it too.
Oh, cool. So you like have a very creative family unit, eh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, like, what type of genres are you into? Music genres?
I would say, like, main one is hip-hop, but I like to go into, like, the melodic pop rap, too. Like, I've been getting into a lot of, like, Doja Cat recently.
She's cool, man.
Bro,
she's cool.
Straight up, honestly, I've been getting into Doja Cat because Idol's been, like, on that tip, too, like, doing the whole melodic stuff. Yeah, and it's just, like, hearing the different, like, hearing her do it and then, like, going into like Doja Cat's discography and like listening to it, and then like hearing like especially Hot Pink stuff, like the stuff you hear like on the third listen through and you hear it like on the left and the right, and it's like, whoa, I didn't hear that the first time, and it's, bro, the layers are crazy. And, like I get into that a lot. Another one is it's like drum and bass, like PlayStation 1 drum and bass. Like I like that a lot. Just because it's like so nostalgic. Growing up on like PlayStation 2 like vibes. After my PS1 crashed.
Or when it like you turn it on and it's like spinning and it makes that certain sound where you know it's gonna work or not. Yeah. Like it rises that.
Yeah. Bro, my PS1, I remember I was 8 years old, my PS1, we had the disc in, it worked fine, and then all of a sudden it just went to a white screen.
Yep.
And I was like, I remember I literally did that thing where you leave the room to like, I would leave the room to see if it works. Like, I'd turn it on, I'd run out the room, close the door, and then I'd stand there like this, and then I'd like, like, see if it worked or not, and if it, and like 9
those
times out of 10.
pretending not to care ones, like don't stare at it, maybe it'll work then.
I don't care if you work.
I got a life anyways, so. So, what made you want to get into rapping?
So like growing up, I was like, I'm about to like dive deep into like the explanation of this.
Yeah,
but
go for it.
I was into like video games a lot, and around the time I was like 13, which is like 2015, I was like, I got an Xbox and I was like jamming Halo a lot, and I remember playing Halo 2, and like that was a favorite game of mine. And then I saw the trailer for Straight Outta Compton, and Eazy-E pulls out a duffel bag and has an SMG in it. And I remember my thought process at 13 was like, that looks like the gun of Halo 2. So I was like, I want to go watch this movie. And because I already knew, like, I saw the name Ice Cube and Dr. Dre and that, so I was like, I already was familiar with those guys. But then, like, I watched it, not in cinemas, and for legal reasons I won't disclose where I watched it, but I like watched it and I got exposed to like hip hop fully, and I was like, whoa, like this is crazy. Like I'd only just seen, like, because at that time, like I was 13. Prior to that, like my musical like exposure was MTV, and that was like LMFAO, Justin Bieber, Teo Cruz, like that era, like the 2010 stuff.
Oh my gosh, Teo Cruz.
Bro,
you just sparked part of my memory that just came back to life.
Bro, and like one of them was Eminem, and at the time I thought he was pop, because I was like, okay, Not Afraid, Bad Meets Evil, it's hearing it on the radio, you're all good. And then seeing him and Dr. Dre, because I never really made that connection, and then I saw that and I was like, whoa, and I dove into it, and I like dove deep, and then eventually kind of like scourged, is that the word? Like scourged around, bro, and like found like that. I went through the West Coast phase, and then I found the East Coast, and that's when I like fell in love. I was like, wow.
I love East Coast for life,
bro.
Maybe into this. Anyways, please don't put that in. I'm gonna embarrass myself, but I'm an East Coast person as well. I love West Coast. Their stuff goes hard.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
real
hard,
West Coast, bro. DJ Quick. DJ Quick. Nah. DJ Quick, Dog Pound, like West Side Connection. That stuff is hard, but like, I'm sorry, bro. No one's beating Wu-Tang. No one's beating like Nas or you know. My mind just went blank. Boot Camp Click. No, like no one's like touching. Like, to me personally, like that's just me. Like I love East Coast. Like it's my life.
Me too. And I like their sound.
Like
sound that came with it.
Yo.
It's really good. So you were into Halo.
Yo.
I love Halo because, just a little backstory on me. I love music scores.
Oh, yo.
So like video game scores. My dream job growing up, since I was a kid, because I used to play a lot of video games too, was to create scores for video games. Yeah. So Halo is always a memorable one.
Yo.
Yo. And I went to a live show where they did like orchestra show where they just played like all the like PS2 game. They had a Final Fantasy one. They had Halo, and they played scores from a variety of like Japanese games.
Bad.
And I was just like, yo, this is me. Anyways, sidetrack from that. You went to watch the film.
Yo.
And that's how you got into hip hop.
Yeah.
Yo. And then when did you kind of like start rapping? Writing, like where you were like, nah, I'm actually gonna try it out. Yeah.
I think I was. Oh, bro, I remember the first rap I wrote too. It was pretty much like straight after. I was like, okay, because I heard kids. I think it was like year 13s or something. I heard them play like Eazy-E and the at lunchtime and that, and I was like, okay, let me get a chance at rap at this. Like I figured out the words and I started rapping to that. But then we had this one kid who was like real hyperactive in class. And I remember the first rap I wrote was a diss track to him, because I was like, I'm sick and tired of you disturbing the class. Like, I'm trying to learn. Like, I'm not trying to be in the cabbage class, okay? Like, I'm trying to, like, progress my learning. And, like, you're over here disrupting the teacher. And I wrote a diss track to him. And it was I'm not gonna lie, it was the wackest yish you ever heard. And I was just like, man, I'm so glad that kind of was the starting point, because now it's just getting progressively better. But 13, 14, I was kind of like just flirting with the idea of being a rapper, because I was like, oh yeah, I'll be a rapper and make lots of money. And then it wasn't until I was 15 in year 11 when I was like, my music teacher was like, okay, you have to actually like perform. And I was like, okay, I can't sing, like I don't want to. I couldn't sing, like I had my voice dropped, so like I couldn't hit the high notes anymore. So I was like, I don't want to sing, and I was embarrassed to sing. and I was like too like prideful to like sit down and play an instrument. So I was like, I'll be the only rapper in the class. So I went and like started rapping, and it wasn't until the next year that I had the head of music as my music teacher, and she was lovely. And like I just got to shout out one time Mrs. Benham for like getting me on, because like without her I wouldn't have like taken this professionally. Like she was like, you need to like, once you leave school, like at least pursue something in music. And I was like, okay. And like, she was the only person in the class that the only teacher that believed in me fully.
Love that.
And I was like, bro, like I just gotta give props to her. Yo.
What's her name, sorry?
Mrs. Benham.
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 Shout out to Mrs. Benham. I love teachers like that.
Yo.
Very similar to my music. Sorry, another side quest story. Very similar to my music teacher. I went to Southern Cross. Only white teacher there.
Yo.
Super into like Broadway and theater and stuff like that. So he took us to my first orchestra at the Aotea Square. And when I saw it, I was like, what the hell? It opened my mind. Like,
damn.
I would have never went there if it wasn't for him. Because like my family don't go to that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then once I saw that first thing, I was like, holy crap. From then, like growing up, I always was into producing stuff. So it's amazing the influence teachers can have on students.
Bro,
They're
straight
given
up.
the right place and advice. It's really, really awesome.
Yeah, hard. I feel like the right teachers, I feel like those type of teachers, they need to like be, I feel like as a like in the education system, like those are the teachers that we need in like schools. Like the ones that encourage the kids, the ones that can, the ones that care, that get on the level of like the kids that want to learn, but also the kids that don't want to learn. They can be like, okay, well, like I understand you don't want to learn this part in English, but it could benefit you in this. Like, bro, all my math teachers, bro, they were like, they were only there to get paid. And I sat in class 15 years old and I was like, bro, I'm never going to use trigonometry. Why do I have to use this? And then I leave, I go to get a tradie apprenticeship for electrical, and there's trigonometry in the thing, and I'm like, you came back for me. Yo.
Yeah, exactly. They need to care. And also, like, music is art. And I feel like there is more emotion attached to, like, the arts in general.
Yeah.
Compared to, like, super math, sciencey stuff.
Yeah.
Or it's not, like, really exposed in those spaces.
Yeah, facts say, like, I feel like everyone's so focused on getting science degrees or math degrees. But one thing that's pushing society forward is, like, the arts.
For sure.
It's, like, it's all about actors. Like, if you look at the big names in the world, they're not mathematicians. They're singers, they're rappers, they're actors. And it's like, these are the people that have a platform and a voice to like progress forward the worth of society. But like, we're still like in schools, you have to get a math degree, you have to get this. Like, one of my mates, shout out Wise, by the way, I'm about to dog you, I'm so sorry, but he got like a philosophy degree in uni, and I'm like, bro, in this day and age, I personally don't see, like, for me, this is like my ignorance. It might be an ignorant statement, but I'm like, I don't understand like why you need a degree to be a philosopher. I mean, we live in 2024. We're not having scriptures anymore to read from like the oracles. You know, like it's like you're doing a degree that isn't gonna help progress you forward. You're gonna get maybe a job as a, I don't know, English teacher, but you know. And I feel like everyone's doing these degrees, these fancy term degrees, but still working dead 9-to-5 jobs. And it's like, they don't want to do it. Yeah. It's like, they have to do it because uni's like an option. And I'm like, I get it. Like, it's nice to go to uni and like maybe get a degree to help you progress forward. But like, I feel like most of the people that do that, they kind of fall back to the 9-to-5s. And I'm like, bro, just pursue what you want to pursue. Like, bro, if you want to be like a Instagram philosopher, start that up, bro. Like, just do it. Like, don't be afraid. Like, just go hard on the dreams, eh?
Absolutely. You know? I totally understand where you're coming from, especially in the sense of success in this system. It's usually like monetary and how much freedom or time you got to yourself. So like, if you're going to study something that you're hoping leads to a large bank account and freedom of time, I totally understand why it's like you don't have to do it. But like, I also feel that studying arts and philosophy and sociology and all of those things really helps creatives. Like, if you're going to go into the creative space, just knowing that knowledge. Actually, you're right, eh? Like, because it puts it into perspectives. Yeah.
Like it does progress the mind forward, like
and then your mind can create around that, so
Yeah.
like it increases your wordplay. But then that's if the person who studied philosophy is deciding to go into an arts, and then how they explore the world is from the knowledge that they've picked up from. And it is like, you know, you've got to be of a certain financial situation to be afforded that privilege in the first place. But I definitely feel like if you're going into creative arts, like those art subjects are valuable to hold. But like if you're going to study like it to the max and then go back to something where it's not relevant, it sucks. Like it kind of sucks. I wouldn't say it's not worth the time, but I would say it sucks that you're not using it in real life.
So shout out Wise, because you actually are like so lyrical. I'm not gonna lie, like I take that back. I'm so sorry, Wise.
Awesome. So that's how you kind of started rap, right? So I listened to your album. Awesome. I love the vibes. A lot of boom bap type of beats going on. A lot of the lyrics is around following your dream. I like how you storytell. You kind of just like talk about your normal day, eating salt and vinegar chips. Salt and vinegar chips, by the way, are my favorite. And to all the haters who says it's the worst flavored chips, you guys suck.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why you say it's the worst flavors. It's the perfect amount of like saltiness, vinegary-ness, like.
Exactly.
Oh, so really salted's the best. Default, bro. Default. Built different.
Yeah, so it's salt and vinegar is obviously for people with actual taste buds. So
hard.
So yeah, like your raps are about your writing in your raps is really interesting because you just talk about your normal day, but inserting deep messages. Like your thoughts while you're going somewhere. Trying to focus, keep your vision alive, and trying to break away from the system, which is like the 9 to 5, taking away your energy from creating something amazing that you actually want to do. Tell us a bit about that. But what was your writing process like?
Back then, so like the whole process of I Call Myself the Man was, at the time I was working at post-haste customer service. That was my first job too, and it was like, bro, it was the worst customer service job ever because like post-haste already had a bad reputation with like their drivers and deliveries and that. And there was kind of like, it was always like most of the time in the day I'd get yelled at by like random customers, and like I'm a timid person, bro. Like I'm sitting on the phone, like they're like, where's my mask? And I'm like, it's on the way. Like, but like like I would just sit there and I'd write, because things would come up where it's like, oh, this person is, I think I got struck with that comparison bug too, where it was like, oh, this person's doing great. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, oh, bro, like, I'm just trying to, like, I'm trying to live. Like, I'm trying to get away from focusing on a 9 to 5. Because personally, like, I don't feel in my energy, in my spirit that I'm supposed to be working a 9 to 5. Like, I feel like what I'm supposed to do in life is music. Whether that's hip hop, producing for like big name artists in the pop realm, it doesn't matter. Like I feel like music is where I am. Like it's pretty much been me since I came out the womb. Like, and I feel like the 9 to 5 life of corporate jobs just wasn't it. Like I was like, nah, I don't want to sit here and just work for somebody else when I could be like working for myself. And it's like, that was the whole writing process of like, okay, well, I'm feeling like this, I'm gonna write how I feel. Because a lot of the times when I would write how I felt, I would freestyle, because like I was like, how the post-haste customer service was structured was, we had the people on the phone, but then there were certain people that could go down and like do searches, and I love doing searches. Everyone, like no one else in the office liked doing searches, so they gave all their searches to me, and I was like, that's cool. That gets me off the phone. I get to go scourge in the boxes. Like I get to do whatever I like, and while I did that, I was freestyling about the customer I had on the phone before that, like absolutely like bit my ear off. And a lot of the times it was raps of that. It was like just things I'd be freestyling in the depot, and like I'd write it down afterwards, like, okay, well, I'm feeling like this, but I'm hoping for that. It would be like I'm writing about how I'm feeling, but not looking at it as a pessimistic but optimistic, like, okay, I know I'm gonna stay here until this time, and I'm gapping, and then I'm going to go full. And it was like, that's exactly what happened. Right. That's
awesome. So that's how you kind of like wrote all that album, was through that part of your life on getting into the whole 9 to 5. And then I think it's less attraction to the money. Money is a good benefit of it, but it's more attraction to the freedom to like use your time how you want to use it.
Because I was like working in Penrose, and I'm from like Wattle Downs, and it's like driving. I had to get up like 7 o'clock in the morning to start at 9:30, get up at 7 to then sit in traffic for like an hour and a half all the way from Rewa to Penrose.
And by then you're already like discouraged. You're like, frick, I don't even want to go work now.
And it's like I'm up like the night before like doing like hard creative stuff, and I feel great, and then it's like that energy, that creative energy kind of like it, as much as it does feel great, it is real draining when it's like the come down. It's like a come down after like, you know, you take some wacky backy or whatever. Like it's a great feeling, but then afterwards it's just draining. So like getting up in the morning, having no energy because you wasted it the night before, it's like, damn, like sitting in traffic, the sun is blaring in your eyes and you're like crusty-eyed like that. And you're like, am I really supposed to be doing this?
How is it for you now, like in regards to your work and balancing out creativity? How what stage are you at the moment?
I'm gonna just be honest, I'm broke. Like I'm broke, but I'm happy. Like I think that's the best thing, like, is being content with who I am now. But I'm starting to work for the Takaringa Trust, which run the Navigators program.
Amazing.
And that's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Not so much on the facilitator side, because personally, like, I'm like seeing how they work now. I'm like, I understand. Like, before when I was in that 9 to 5 wanting the facilitator positions, I was like, I understand now that that is not for me, because I've got too many things to do that kind of clash with that, but also I'm not ready maturity wise to deal with that, like to deal with other people and like their issues when I haven't so much been able to like get a grasp on what they might be going through. So they've got me in to do like the social media stuff, and I'm like super excited for that, because that's like, man, that's easy work now. It's just like posting videos up, and it's great because it doesn't do anything. Like it's not a massive shift in my schedule at all. It's just a post a video. There's probably more stuff to it. So like, I'm speaking like precursor. So if like I come back and I'm like sunken-eyed and like, not depressed, but like sunken-eyed and exhausted, it's probably because I misjudged this thing. But it's just, it's like, it's not that much out of the day. I can like sit down and make beats. I can write raps. And it's just, it's easy as.
And I think it's good because you're creating, like with social media, even though it may sound like, you know, like a mundane job, but you get the chance to be creative. Like, what am I going to post? What types of stories am I telling through these images, through these videos, which is pretty solid. Which is what I wanted to ask you next, was like, as an artist, what type of message are you trying to convey overall?
I think the message I'm trying to convey is, don't be afraid to do what you want to do. Because like, if you have a dream to do something, you should go ahead and pursue it, because like, you know, the sky's the limit. And not even that, like, we got people on the moon now. So sorry. It's like, people, like, you can do whatever you want to do. It's like taking your freedom as a person back from like, maybe like not hardworking parents, but like the strict like rules of society. Like, okay, well, you have to work a 9 to 5, get money, buy a house, and be miserable. It's like, I would rather be where I am now, broke and happy, than rich and miserable. And like, it's just, whatever you do, just pursue it. Don't get discouraged. Just keep pushing. Because whatever happens, like, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it if you have the right attitude towards it. And that's pretty much like what I'm trying to push, like, right now.
That's amazing. And I think we're at a time where there's so much room for innovation. So much, you know, before was like the corporate, freaking, like, you got to be working a job. And they created that system. Women stay home, men go to work. And that was through the Industrial Revolution when that was happening. We're at a very interesting time now where we don't even need that stuff. Like,
my woman is working and I'm at home.
There we go. Like a total contrast to what it was 100 years ago. And now we're in a time, it's there's so many ways to innovate, so many ways to make money. You can do what you love, and that's a really good message to push, because along with those systems came a lot of problems as well. Like issues, prejudice, racism, freaking sexism, every ism that we can think of in the book. So there's a lot of solutions that I feel this generation, your generation, will have moving forward, and I think that's an awesome message to carry across. But how are you finding it navigating the hip-hop industry scene in New Zealand?
I'm gonna be honest, it is really hard. Just because there's a lot of people caught up with what's happening in America. Just like they want to do what happens in America, like they wanna rap like them, even like the radio stuff as well. Like a lot of radio stations, they want to just play American stuff and not so much capitalize, but like not so like dig into like New Zealand stuff.
Local artists,
Bro, we've got like amazing artists like Idol Essence, Rizzy, Jay Mysterio. When his stuff drops, like everyone that I know personally is an amazing like artist on the come up, if not already established, and like there's no spins from like the big radio stations that are supposed to kind of like promote us. And it's at the same time it's great because it means they stay underground and they don't get like that overplayed value like on the edge where it's like every time you hear a song and it's just repeat 660. And but yeah, like I think there are people in the music industry that like do hold a lot of value for like local artists, and like they're some of the best. Rizvan's one of them, like fully he's all for like the local talent, and I think him, Siose from Navigators, they really, and Spew from FOS as well, like they hold a lot of like admiration to have those spaces for local artists. Not admiration, but like like they like to have those spaces for local artists. And that's been the easiest thing navigating. But yeah, like me and Idol went to a writing camp last night at a Parachute, and we weren't the only rappers there, but it was real like professional, like like that's the first writing camp I've been to. I wasn't personally invited, but like Shaq brought me along anyway just to like be in the room with her. So I was like, okay, cool. Still laced the verse and still like killed it. I think the biggest thing though was like the biggest like roadblock for me, I think, is the flowers, if anything. And it's not so much to get flowers for validation, but it's just to know you're doing a good job, like all the time, like I get told people talk about me behind my back, and it's like I don't want to hear it from you that this person said this to you at this place. I want to hear it from that person who likes my stuff. I want them to say it to my face, because then it's like I've noticed this a lot, and it's gone past the point of like seeking validation, because I'm not really seeking validation. It's like people will always give flowers to other people to their face, but then for me it's like always behind my back. And that's like the biggest. It's so like discouraging, because it's like, am I doing a good job? And I'm a chronic overthinker already, so it's like, am I doing a good job? Am I like good enough? And then it's like that mental energy kind of like drains, and it's like, damn. And it makes me not want to do it anymore. But then it's like realizing like I'm not getting flowers. It's crack up, because it's a massive contrast. It drains me, but then it's like, okay, well, go harder. And it's okay, I'll just keep going harder. And it's like I think it's the scene in Kill Bill where like she's punching the wall, and she like keeps getting her hand like scratched up, and then like eventually she like breaks through, and it's like, okay, well, I'm just waiting to break the wood now. Like that's literally it. And flowers or no flowers, like I don't really care. Like I'm just trying to get myself out there and do my thing. Idol brought up a really good point too, that she was like, it's not about like music. We do it to a point for self-expression and for the love, but we're also are social creatures. Like we do it like other people are going to hear this. To get a like oh, you did amazing would be perfect. Like to know that you're doing the right thing, or not doing the right thing, but are on the right track. It's like, okay, it's nice. Because if someone was doing it for the love, then they should honestly have no issue performing at a cozy club with 0 to 10 people there. But then they go up and they get all up in arms. Wow, bro, that show was trash because I only had 10 people there. It's like, are you really doing it for the love?
Yeah.
Or are you doing it for like more than that? Because like, or like, are you doing it for the love of the music, or are you like doing it for like validation sort of things? And
absolutely,
I think people need to like, not accept, like they need to understand that, like accept it too. Like, don't be afraid to hold that down. Like, if someone like says that your song is good, like don't be like, oh, thanks, it was nothing. Like, take that in. Like, they're giving you the thing that you need to keep going. It's the fuel. Like, you can't just like take the gas canister out and like, no, I don't know where I'm going with that analogy. Sorry, but like, like you gotta have the fuel. Sometimes you don't have the funds to fuel your own car.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a good point. And it's not like we're here trying to tell people, give us our flowers. It's just a very important part to developing as an artist. You need to know what you're putting out there is resonating with people. And like, even for me, like when I started this podcast, one comment, good comment will fuel me through the week. And I don't care if it was like, that was a cool episode. And I'll just be like, mean. I got energy for the rest of the week. And now we got like, I'm not going to say we're the biggest show, but like we got good engagement. People are like talking about stuff on our TikToks and our Instagram reels, and I love it. It's like, yes, we're creating engagement. So I'm kind of like seeing my purpose fulfilled in that. So it's so true. And I think we need to take away that, I don't know what it's called.
I feel like it's an offspring of tall poppy, eh? Like, because I noticed that a lot of the times people won't give the artist flowers unless they're like up there.
Yeah, until everyone else is doing it.
Yeah, like it's a trend. Like I heard this very interesting line from Schmidt where it was like, they're only loyal if it's trending. And it's like, that's true. I've seen that. And it's like, they wouldn't like, honestly, like, yeah, the local artists that like are going further and further, they don't get that recognition that someone would give to like, say, I don't know, like established members like Scribe. Like it's like, we're not all on Scribe's level, but we're still chipping away at it, and just the little bits of encouragement are great. But I feel like that's all kind of stemming from Tall Poppy, because it's like, I'm not going to give you flowers because like I don't want to see you succeed. Like I don't want to see you drive forward. Yeah, it's like, why? You know, I'm like trying to get a name for our country, but I feel like if we get enough artists like out there, future generations, New Zealand is going to be like one of the biggest music industries. For sure. We have so much talent, we got so rich talent, and it's like people holding us down because, oh, you can't do that. Like, you're never going to make it. You're not going to make it. The American League, too far. And it's like, bro, you already have Lord. If Lord can crack it, anybody else can crack it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, it's like one drip of water, bro, you got a water leak. Doesn't matter if it's one drip every like 2 months, you got a water leak, you got to fix it. Yeah. Or else the whole water's going to come through. Don't fix this, by the way. Like, you got to let the water all come out. Because, like, I'm pretty sure, like, King's even made international stuff. He did. He did really well, yeah. So it's like, bro. I think, our music scene, even our reggae, the reggae scene in New Zealand, bro, it's on, eh? Like, I love New Zealand reggae. Even more than Pacific reggae. I would say that. Like, I've seen our Pacific reggae artists, but I love our Māori artists in reggae as well, bro. It's on, eh? Good old Kiwiana. So, yeah, I just feel like there's so much involved in being an artist. You have to understand that people will be like that. But at the same time, we have to be honest and express that we do need positive feedback to develop us as artists. So it drives everyone forward. You know, when one makes it, we all make it. For real. And that's been said multiple times on the show, and it's something I genuinely believe in as well. Even planting an idea in someone that you can do it. If you just really tried. Yeah. Some people like even fuel off the hate comments too. Oh, for sure. And I'm like, honestly, personally, I don't know how you can. Like, that's the... Or I hear a hate comment, bro. I'm, like, pondering on that for, like, next month, bro. I remember this. We did the Patumaka Street Fest last year. Me, the bro, J Mysterio, Idol Essence, and Wisecracker the Warlock. Shout out Wise and J Money. We did the Patumaka Street Fest, and someone filmed it and put it on TikTok. And the feedback for me and Idol were great, but there was, like, little, like, jabs at, like, J Money, and I was like... I was getting angry for him. I was like, bro, why are you dissing my mate like that for? Like, this dude's been my day one in music since like we left high school, and it's like, bro, you're like out here like dissing this dude. And then he was like, bro, honestly, like, as much as it gets me down, it makes me laugh. And I was like, that's funny how you can like actually take a step out of your pride to laugh at that. Because like personally, I don't think I could. Like, I'd be like hurt. I'd honestly be hurt. I'd be hurt. So like if someone was like, you have flaky nose, bro, I'd be like, I can't help it, bro, I'm trying. Nah. But bro, like, yeah. And that's another thing too, like even artists dogging other artists too, like Thomas Rose, like that bro's like working hard. He's hustling hard, and like everyone's just like, this is trash, this is trash, this is trash. But it's like, what are you doing? Like, you're sitting on your TikTok or Instagram, like watching his reel come up. He's just taken 30 seconds of your life that you can't get back. And I've seen like a lot of people like take the piss out of him, because like honestly, like his reels keep coming up, and it's like everyone laughs about it, but it's like he's hustling harder than anyone in the game right now. If I'm gonna be honest,
for
like
real?
Like the way I see it, bro, like I've never seen someone post that many reels up. Like obviously, like there are people that are hustling way harder under the scene, but he's like on the surface, like he's posting everything. And you know, as much as it is repetitive, it's the same hook, it's still content. It's like, it's still pushing it out there. He's still getting his name known, regardless whether you like it or not. You're gonna see him on your feed every day.
And you're right, I did see him on my feed. Never met the dude, but I found his content funny on how he addressed the haters. And it wasn't a fun way, you know, like he flipped it. So instead of like taking it, he made a meme out of the meme.
And it was like, he actually like, and what he's speaking about too is not, it's not like nothing. He's speaking facts. Like he's speaking facts about how like white corporate New Zealand doesn't care about Māori or Pacifica people unless they're playing for the All Blacks. And it's like, bro, he's speaking facts, and you're like over here dogging him for that. Like, he's making it catchy for sure. It's repetitive, but still, like, it's just facts. And like he actually spoke something on a I think it was on New FM. He was like, what pushed you to do, like, go forward? And he was like, he had a man in a mirror moment, and it was like, okay, well, I'm sitting here doing nothing. There's nothing holding me back, so I'm just gonna go do it. And he did it. And literally hearing that made me go finish my album, because I was like sitting there, I was like, okay, I got one song left to mix, I'm gonna take my time with it. And I saw that, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, you're absolutely right, I've got nothing holding me back to mix it. So I went and mixed it, and the album's finished. And it's like,
see the power of influence. And that's the same way I got into my industry as well. I saw someone else do it, it was online, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And then I just did it. So like, people may think, people who aren't, you know, the haters, people who aren't really doing much, like, oh, this is not going to help anyone. But it actually helps so many people. Just seeing someone else do it through a screen. So like, what's next for you?
So yeah, like I said, I just finished the album. Beast Love and Hip Hop coming out September. But other than that, like, that one's a little bit like, that one's more on the hip hop side of things. There's more exploration in this one. Like it's like, the first one was a straight boom bap. This one is like new school stuff. There's a lot of like YGB influence in this one as well, like Homebrew, Team Dynamite.
Nice.
Yeah, just embracing that localness, and even speaking on the localness too, not just like about the corporate 9-to-5s, but like where I was is like, I call myself the man, but where I am now is Beats Love and Hip Hop, and it's like, there's so much difference. Like there's more positivity in this. I don't think there's a down, like there were like maybe 3 sad songs kind of thing on the first one, and then this one there's no sad songs at all. And it's like, bro, I just feel great to put a project together, try different avenues of hip hop too. There's Memphis beats, which Idol Essence is on as well. There's like Drake. Nah, I'm not. Nah, I'm joking. There's no Drake on this.
Why? I'm the biggest Drake fan. Nah. Drake. I love Drake.
It gave me the beat gave me Drake vibes like when I first made it, but it wasn't. It's like it's not really Drake vibes. Yeah. You
well, it depends what you mean. What Drake vibes are. Like, you're talking like early Drake days, like no, honestly, singing R&B/rap.
Yeah, R&B/rap.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
I don't know Drake's discography. So
really? Okay, I love Drake. Huge Drake fan. Huge Kendrick fan also. Can we talk about the rap beef?
Yo.
What are your thoughts on it?
I haven't gotten into it like too much.
Yep.
But I do think, honestly, I think this is what hip hop in this day and age needs. Like, as much as there is like as much as there is a unity thing that we need to have together, I feel like there are things that do need to be addressed with certain rappers, and I feel like hip hop, to me personally, is losing its original influence. It's more about making money off of rapping on commercial stuff now. But
I think music's always been like that, though. Don't you think so? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, hip hop was about. Actually, nah. I take that back. Nah, I actually do take that back. Yeah, I feel like the way that it's going is just. See, that's the old head of me, bro. I've been like twisted to be
it's
like.
It's good to have balance because, like, we've had discussion with our production team as well about this, about purity, like how in everything, whether it's, I don't know, another industry, there's always the drive to keep something pure. Like hip hop is an art from poverty. It's an art from struggle, and trying to keep that pure. Even in culture, like in Samoan cultures, there's always argument like, oh, we've got to keep things traditional. And then there's the people like, no, you can't keep it traditional. So there's always that friction.
Yeah, facts, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that kind of, because we're seeing it in like the Kendrick and Drake thing now. Everyone's like, oh, Drake's just a biter. He makes commercial stuff.
Yeah.
He's pumping out stuff just to make money. And he's stealing other people's flows and changing hip hop. And then you have Kendrick. People are like, nah, he's OG because he's keeping it real. He's using... he's true to West Coast. He's true with his lyrics. He knows black culture. He's keeping it pure. Yeah. It's the same argument.
Yeah, I honestly think like on that point alone, like Kendrick is a lot stronger because like with hip hop, like it's like it is birthed from like poverty and like the African American neighborhoods, and it's like even though that started in the Bronx, it did branch out to like the West Coast and Compton and that, and I feel like Kendrick he's keeping that richness alive. But I feel like Drake, taking my point back, I feel like Drake is definitely like pushing it forward to like give that space to, I think what it is it's not that it's going to a space where you can like make money off of it, but it's going to a space where it's being stripped of its identity, because like it's like you can be a rapper in this day and age but not know hip hop. Like I've seen a lot of dudes like they would do singing rap and call themselves rappers, but they would know nothing about hip hop, and it's like I feel like there's no respect for the culture like that from like the cats that are coming in now that are like trying to just make money off of it. There's nothing wrong with making money off hip hop. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm doing this, like I'm doing music also to like live off of it, because like I said, I don't see myself working a 9 to 5. Like I want to make a living off of music. Whether that's doing other things, that's cool, but I'll still do hip-hop for the love of it. And I feel like there are cats, especially like white suburban kids, that are just coming in.
For sure, I've seen a lot of them nowadays. And they're being pushed by like big, like Sony and,
it's like, bro, use the, like, old school to you. Like, you think hip-hop started with Eminem, all right? Sit down, okay? Understand, it started in the 70s, okay? In the Bronx. Do not say it started with Eminem, because like it didn't. And I feel like there's no respect for it to be like, okay, yes, you're making money, you're commercialized, but this is not a white thing. It has to be respected because it is an original African American culture, and there has to be at least an understanding of where it came from, where it went, and now where it's going.
Absolutely.
In order for it to be completely pure. That's just like my view on it.
Yeah, so I saw an article PMN wrote about that. It's like cultural embeddedness. So how embedded are you in the culture? So you may be of a certain race, or you may be connected through a certain ancestry line, but how well you know the values of why it was culture, of why that art form is important, must be like it's important in the art. And I guess that's why the division is happening between like Kendrick and Jay, because they feel like Drake is not culturally embedded because he didn't experience the struggle and stuff like that. I have different views on that. I don't feel like you can still be of a bloodline. You have like ancestors who came from a certain bloodline, but you don't need to be a gangbanger or like a freaking, I don't know, a thug on the road to get a pass to get into an art. I think that's very short-minded. Like you can be just a good creative in general and have like an okay life, but you can see things. You can see things from your perspective.
Yeah.
And to kind of limit that and say, nah, you got to be like hardcore gangbanger West Coast thingy to be the only one to do rap, I think it's a bit limited. Because when you try to take that to the world, which is what you want and how to, you know, evolve an art form, like you want it to grow, you want it to do good for your people. How do you make something good for your people? You take it to the world. Money comes back, funds go back to the community, other artists can grow. And so I think Drake does that well, but it's not being looked well because as you go forward, parts of the culture loses itself because it's constantly molding. So I think it's just that culture war at the moment, and I think fans are just like crazy people in general. So
I also think they love the beef beat too. Like,
I
remember one of our friends, Tammy, that Idol spoke about last week. Shout out Tammy. She said that this is when J. Cole was involved too, because she's a massive J. Cole fan. Like she was saying about how like it was fun for them, and I'm like, it's not fun. Like, sorry Tammy, like it's not fun for them. Like Kendrick is like a hard, like he's from one of the hardest neighborhoods in America, and like these dudes ain't here to have fun. Like J. Cole may think it is, but Kendrick ain't playing. Like Kendrick is on he's vicious, where he will, you know, like bite into you, bro.
For sure. J. Cole's stance was interesting, but he chose peace, I guess.
I think that was the best move too. Like, because like obviously things, if he stayed in that spot, things would have escalated. I think the way I think a beef is perfectly displayed, like two different beefs, like a healthy one and an unhealthy one, like perfectly displayed. Biggie and Tupac was an unhealthy one because it both ended in their deaths.
Different times as well.
And
bro, some of their lines were like on crack, man.
Like
seriously, bro, it was like they're exposing themselves in this crap, man.
Bro, even like just like some of Biggie's subliminals, like he let Pac walk over him commercially, but he still dissed him subliminally, but it ended up with both of them dying, and it wasn't that was an unhealthy beef
for sure.
But the perfect, like honestly, well, not perfect, but like the healthy one I think of is JayZ and Nas.
And for sure,
because that ended with both of them coming together, putting their issues aside to be like, nah, like I don't want to die. We're gonna settle this. And I think J. Cole did the smart thing and like just be like, hey, let's just take a step back and like not take this any further, because obviously with Kendrick being affiliated with like Bompton and that, I think like it's like you don't want that kind of issue to come through to you.
Exactly.
Especially with the way like, you know, gangs in America are, like they don't play around. They are vicious as. I don't have experience with that, by the way. I'm just like
just from what we see. I'm the same as you. And I think J. Cole's stance, he definitely chose peace. A lot of people aren't ready for personalities like J. Cole, vulnerable personalities. They're just like, I fucked up.
And everyone was clowning him too. It's like he did a smart thing. He stepped out before it got dangerous.
Exactly.
And I think it was good too, because even that, like, I haven't heard Drake's response. Like Drake responded once. Kendrick spanked them, like came back with like 3 hits, and then like no one's like come back at all, I don't think. And it's like they just take a step back, and it's like I think it's fizzled down now.
I think it is fizzling down. I hope they make more of it together for hip hop, like you know how Nas and JayZ, like there was that coming together. I hope they come together because they both need each other. Kendrick can keep the purity alive, and Drake can drive it forward, because that guy, bro, we can't deny his numbers. Like he's listened to freaking everywhere. And as much as, and I always think the internet is just the internet. Like people will troll and say Drake's cancelled, but if you see like actual concert numbers, the money that he's making, the contracts he signed to, it just goes opposite to what people are saying online. But I feel like they're both necessary for hip hop. Definitely. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. But I Team Jersey. Team Jersey. So sorry.
BBL Jersey.
BBL Jersey. I would like to propose. Well, it's not really a propose. Could you do a freestyle for us?
Most definitely.
Amazing. Just to wrap this up, thank you so much, Shams, for coming on, sharing your wisdom with us, sharing your industry knowledge, and also your background story and your journey into this. It's amazing. I'm inspired every day. I get to speak to people like you.
Thank you for having me.
Who decide to like live their dream and just go forward and go for it. So keep going.
Yep.
Any last words for anyone wanting to, take the leap of faith into their creative journey?
Just do it. Don't hold back. Just do it. Because if you are still on that cliff by the time you're 50 years old, bro, you ain't going to have that much life left to live. So you got to keep doing. You just got to jump. Just do it. Yeah.